Peace, blessings, much respect, much love. It's your boy, the Ghetto Guru, aka Shango, coming back with a second video of the day. So I'm gonna get straight into it. So this video, for the second video, is gonna be titled "Stoop Kid Afraid to Lose." Excuse me, Stoop Kid Afraid to Leave His Stoop. Stoop Kid Afraid to Leave His Stoop. Hey Arnold. So I don't know if y'all used to watch the cartoon Hey Arnold. That was one of my favorite cartoons. Shout out to the people that know that's tapped in with that. But basically there was an episode, if y'all remember, where there was a kid that always was on the stoop and they called him Stoop Kid. And he was very nasty, very mean. Anybody try to walk past the stoop, he always would bark on them. He just was real territorial, and just really very defendant of his territory, of his stoop and his building. So everybody didn't mess with him. Nobody was friends with him. They just always were scared of him. But one day they figured out that he was actually afraid. That was like a defense mechanism for it, because he actually was afraid to leave the stoop. So when they found out he was afraid to actually step off the stoop, and they would do stuff, throw things at him and everything, because they knew he didn't want to get off the stoop to chase after them. So they started taunting him and antagonizing him and really, making it hard for him and making fun of him. And they realized that he didn't want to leave the stoop, so he wasn't as scary anymore. So that changed the power dynamic, and he now became afraid of everybody and scared to show his face because everybody knew he didn't want to leave the stoop. So it's a very powerful message in this, even though it's a cartoon, but a lot of the cartoons and different things that we were shown when we were younger have very deep meanings and applies to our life even now as adults. We just had to break it down to understand what the message was. It was trying to tell us, rather. So this message applies to life and applies to myself, and I want to use myself as an example as always, and y'all can apply it to your life as well. There was a time that I was that stoop kid, as far as not being mean or anything like that like he was, but as far as I was very cautious after a certain situation happened, in my life, when I was around like 19. And I got into a situation where I got into a altercation, physical fight, and around where I live, and it was just a lot going on. It was a lot going on with that situation at that time, and it had me on edge. It had me very paranoid at the time, watching my back, because these days you never know if people want to get their revenge back, if they're gonna leave it alone. So I was very cautious at my surroundings at a certain time of the night, just the way I move, or even if it wasn't that situation, if it came to like going to different places at a certain time of the night, real late, like after 10 or 11, and my friends wanted to go out and hang out and different things. I was like real in my head with everything. I just felt like I had to watch my back. I didn't trust as much, and it was really holding me back more than I realized at that time. And when my friends, they wanted to go out and do certain things, at that time I didn't really want to go certain places too late and different things like that, because of a fear or worrying if something was going to happen, or just overanalyzing things, being too much in that fear state. And they realized that, and they started making fun of me, and they started calling me Stoop Kid. And it was funny at the moment, but it was very deep because of the message behind it. Because of all that happened at that time, with all that situation I told you I got into, and just overall, just because of how the world is and just how much things happen in the world, I just felt like I always had to know everything. So I had to know my surroundings, know where we was gonna go, who was gonna be there, always thinking what's gonna happen, anything could happen. So that was holding me back because of the fear, and they was making fun of me because of that. But after a while, I realized that I couldn't live like that, because it was holding me back, and it was making me paranoid, making me anxious, and making me not live life how I'm intended to live. And when I realized that, I'm like, I can't live like this. I lived around this space in this area for years. I can't move like that. If something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But I just gotta live my life and move how I wanna move. And not just only around the area I live, but also anywhere I want to go in the world. Now, I'm not saying not to be cautious and to not be cautious of your surroundings, of different places you go to at certain times of the night or certain times of the day, because anything can happen anytime. It doesn't just have to be nighttime. It could be anywhere. Anytime, anywhere. So, but I realized that I can't live like that, and that's holding me back, and I can't live in fear. And if I want to go and do different things and pursue different things, I have to take that step in the world and actually take that courageous step to actually put myself out there and put my best foot forward to succeed in life. So when I realized that, I realized how much power I was taking away from myself and how much power fear was taken away from me. And when I realized that, I was like, I have to make a change. So from that point on, when I realized that, I just stopped moving like that. So all of a sudden, I started putting myself out there more, career-wise. I started, pursuing my music. I started putting myself out there for modeling. I started doing my videos, speaking. I started doing different things that I always wanted to do, but I was always holding myself back because of fear and afraid to get off that stoop into the big world. And that's what I mean by that cartoon is so much bigger of a message than just what it was, because it's showing that was his fear of the world. And that's why he was being so mad and angry at anybody that got near the building, because he was himself afraid of the world. So he had to create this persona and this whole how can I say it? This image, rather thing. There you go. He had to create this whole persona and image that he was this mean, grumpy kid, and he was dangerous, and people shouldn't get near him. But when really people got to really see who he really was past the mask and the persona and the image he was portraying, they seen that he was just a scared kid afraid of the world. And when he realized that, he finally one day decided to put his foot off the stoop onto the ground and come off. And when he did that, everybody stopped laughing. Everybody was in shock. And he now was chasing these people down the block and different things. And he got his power back and realized there was nothing to fear. And that's the same thing I had to realize as well. I'm not saying that I wasn't outside and stuff. I always was outside as a kid. But I'm saying when it really came into really put myself out there and not holding myself back with fear and worrying about, if I go here at a certain time, or, if I'll go here to this borough or this area, I don't know nobody. It stopped me from being in fear, and it helped me be fearless. And that is something I'm pretty sure a lot of us that's watching this video can relate to as well. When I got out of that fear mentality and I got into a fearless mentality, my whole world and my whole life changed. And I too put people in shock as well when they see me pursue and put myself out there to do certain things, because they never seen me do that so fearlessly when they did know me and when they were around me. So it was like a whole different person that they were seeing now moving in the world. And then not only that, I was moving around the world by myself. I was going to auditions by myself. I was doing these videos by myself, putting myself out there. I was, doing my music, producing and writing and different things, and put myself out there as well. So this was very foreign and rare for people to see that wasn't used to that version of me. So when they seen that, they got to see like, okay, this is a whole different person. We can't control him and make fun of him anymore about him not wanting to put himself out there as far as just getting out there and enjoying life and not worrying about what's going to happen or anything pertaining to that type of topic, to that subject matter rather. But I seen how much power I took back from not only those people that doubted me and was putting that on me and making fun of me because of that. I also took the power back from myself, from the fear that I was putting in myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and even financially. And when I did that, it changed my life so much, even to this day. Because even to this day, up to this day, I got even more fearless. I got even more stronger because of things that I went through and trials and tribulations that I faced since then, which was about 6-7 years ago when I first started realizing that to get out of that mentality. But now, as I continue to work on it and realize that, I realized how much strength, how much fear, how much strength I attained and how much fear I got rid of. And not saying that there's always more work to do, but from where I was at to now, it's a tremendous, upgrade, rather, for that. It's a tremendous upgrade from before. And now I have so much confidence within myself and so much strength within myself to believe in myself, to do things, to achieve things, and to just walk in my purpose and walk in my calling of life to do these things. And I see how far it's got me. And I always think back like, damn, if I didn't get over that fear, if I didn't let myself see exactly how far I can come, how far I can go in life, and how much is in store for me, as well as you as well on your journey, I got to see that and realize there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear at all because I'm never alone. Because God, the universe, and ancestors are always with me and they're always protecting me. And nothing's going to happen. And if there is something that's ahead that I can't see, they will warn me and they will tell me exactly what it is and how to avoid it. And when I move like that in life, so many doors open up for me. So many possibilities and so many opportunities open up for me. I met so many new people. I met so many great people. And it just really opened my eyes to life. And it also opened me not to take things for granted, because that's also was part of the fear. And that made me take things for granted. So because I know things aren't promised tomorrow, and life, you can't take life for granted, and nothing is promised tomorrow, I realized that I have to move now. I have to do things now. If I want to pursue things or put myself out there and make these things possible, I have to do it now. And I can't wait. I can't hold myself back. I can't hold myself from opportunities, because even when I go to places that are unknown or I don't know what's going to happen, I always say I'm glad I did go because I had a great time. Oh, it's a bird that landed right there. It's the angels. I always appreciate when I went there because I had a great time. I met a lot of great people. I got to encounter new opportunities. And if I didn't go and I let the fear hold me back, I wouldn't have ran into that. I wouldn't have met these people. I wouldn't have met these opportunities. And I wouldn't have met the new version of myself to see that I can do whatever I want to when it comes to achieving in this life, because I have the power in me the same way y'all have the power within yourself to do anything. But we just have to realize who we are and realize there's nothing to fear, and we have to take that step off the stoop. And when we take that step off the stoop to go out into the world without fear and we're fearless, everybody's jaw drops and their eyes pop wide open like this, because they are shocked that we have found the answer to something that they thought they can make fun of us of and control us of for the rest of our life. So when we do take that step off the stoop and we go into life and we pursue things and we go after what we want and we just move in the world without fear, there's nobody that can stop us or control us but ourselves. So just remember that to not move in fear, to be fearless, there's nothing to fear, because you're always protected, you're always watched over. And if there is something that's going to be on your path that you need to be warned about, God, the universe, and ancestors will warn you and they will protect you. But we must not fear ourselves and we must not fear the world, because there's things that's waiting for all of us, blessings and opportunities, achievements and people out there and new opportunities. And if we don't step off that stoop and move fearlessly, we're never going to meet those people, we're never going to meet those opportunities, and we're never going to see the version of ourselves that we're designed to be. So just remember that. Move fearlessly, move courageously. Don't move with stupidity, of course. Be cautious, but move without a care in the world as far as letting things stop you because you're worrying too much about fear. Because there's things that's waiting for you and that's greater for you on the other side. You just got to take that step off the stoop and walk into the world and grab it, because it's yours. The world is yours. So peace, blessing, much respect to y'all. I love y'all. Always keep doing your thing. Stay goal-oriented. Like I always say, whether we run, whether we jog, whether we sprint or crawl, because life is that hard sometimes. You can't run, you can't jog, you can't sprint. Only thing we can do is crawl to our destination. But like I always say, somehow, some way, we got to make it to our destination someday. So peace, blessings, much respect, much love. I love y'all always. Keep doing your thing. I appreciate y'all support. And to the next topic, peace.